If not, I'm just saying it because it's funny.
Great.
It is actually kind of
Yeah.
funny.
And if you're just coming back really quick, we lost the feed, so we're
Oh,
back.
we're
back.
back, bitches.
You may need to refresh your browsers, like you can tell, if your Ustream shut off.
They all took off their tops while we were gone.
That's
You,
right.
You missed it.
Here,
shot.
here in Las Vegas,
Brown.
police shot and killed an unarmed man on New Year's Eve after mistaking his cell phone for a gun.
Because this looks like a pew pew. Pew pew.
Pew,
But
pew,
the
pew,
video
pew.
came out today showing that.
Does hold it like this.
Well,
In the
it
dark.
depends on how he was, but it shows for like 2 minutes them commanding him to get down, get down,
Okay.
and they showed that they
At
showed
least
the
it wasn't.
video.
At least it wasn't 2 seconds.
Right. No, it was like for a full 2 minutes that they're following. You could see them following him and, get down, put down your weapons, get down. And he didn't comply. And after 2 minutes, I mean,
Yeah.
so let me tell you guys. At some point, you just say, I don't have a gun. I'm just going to get down. I'm going to lower the phone.
2 things I want to know. 3 things, actually. Was it a tourist or a local?
Local.
Was it an iPhone 6? And if was, is it available? Because guy ain't using it.
Right.
Oh,
Is it still on contract?
Yeah, is it still on contract? Can we go ahead
So
and
funny.
turn that on? I'm bad.
So a little bit about this compliance thing. 2 weekends ago, I took my course to get my CCW. That's my concealed carry permit here in the state of Nevada, which I passed with flying colors. So 120 days after I submit my application, I may have my license to carry concealed. May.
After they see the show, you probably won't.
Probably not.
Since you want to nuke Iran.
So here, maybe they'll give it to me on principle.
Just give it to her.
So, one of the things they teach you in your concealed carry course is when you are approached by an officer, if they tell you to get down on the ground, get down on the ground.
Right.
No matter what. If you've done nothing wrong, doesn't matter. Get down on the ground. Because they may not be telling you to get down so they can arrest you. They may be telling you to get down so they can shoot the guy behind you. Also, if you get down on the ground and then they shoot you, your family can sue them.
CYA.
CYA
people.
There's also just the thing that parents should be telling people when they're small, which is if the cops are telling you to get down on the ground, just get the fuck down on the ground.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you did something right or wrong.
Yeah, it's don't sit there and that's part of the problem of the world right now is everyone feels that they have a right to say something before something else happens. No, you don't. Especially if there's an officer of the law in front of you. You really don't have the right to explain yourself.
You do what I did.
If I say my comment, this will probably move into other territory, and we will spend forever on this.
Oh my God, we're going to talk about fisting, aren't we?
We're going to talk about race. So
that was my next guess.
I think that only applies if you're white. So, but let's not go there because there is not a white person. There is not a non-white person in this room.
Right.
I am non-white, but I seem very white to you.
She's very white, just so you know.
So
I was made an honorary black man once by a Foot Locker shoe salesman named Rodney. Does that count?
No.
It probably does.
True story. I'm an honorary black man.
Thank you, Laura.
Oh,
hey, we got.
Must have been the chili.
We can't turn the camera, but we'll make him look into the camera. We got Lawrence. I don't know why he's manning the board. He could have left a long time ago. But thank you, Lawrence, for being here. And it looks like you're having fun. So awesome. Let's see. This should go into our fail column because we got a fail and a win of the week. But I'm gonna just mention it quickly so we don't spend too much time on it. Florida authorities have acknowledged the state has a backlog of more than 13,000 untested rape kits.
The only reason they have that backlog is because they're not using outside laboratories. They will only put them through like 2 laboratories in the whole state. Even though it's been verified independently by 49 other states that an independent laboratory testing rape kits is just as effective as regular
Wait a minute. Federal officials estimate 70,000 rape kits are currently languishing untested across the United States.
Because they're not using independent laboratories.
Much like non-white people, women don't matter as much.
Right. There's just one overworked dude in each state processing rape kits. Meanwhile, there are 4,000 people in each state who have licensed laboratory technicians who could be processing these that aren't processing them because it's got to be done in a proper channel. even though this could be a proper channel.
I think we should probably find out what does it take to go through a rape kit. I mean, what does it take really?
Rape kit process.
And I think one other thing that they should look into is how many of these rape kits are in cities where Bill Cosby recently played.
Oh,
Allegedly.
That goes into current events a little bit later.
You see, you can't rape the willing.
And that's it for. I mean, there's other current news as well. I'd be here the whole hour. So
It's a lot of
next-
news. That's
next-
a lot of
that
news.
is a lot of news in just 1 week. So
My goodness.
next,
You know,
Next.
on the agenda, you know what? I don't have the sound. I have
That's
it,
okay.
but I haven't set it up.
Sorry. Ding, ding, ding. It's time for your curse word of the week. Cocksucker.
good one.
Cocksucker. Because we plan on using it in every news
That's
story
right.
we're talking about from now until the end of the show.
That's
Wow.
right.
My
Cocksucker.
goodness.
You know, I told when I was on the show a couple of years ago, one of our fans has returned to listen in. Our tax lady, Rhonda, who was also a guest on the show back then.
Yeah.
And I warned her what the curse word of the week might be because I know that you have a favorite, but it's your prerogative. So there we go. It's
Cocksucker.
cocksucker.
What did you think it was going to be? Twat waffle?
Cunt cakes.
Cunt cakes. We'll get into cunt cakes a little bit later.
Can-
Maybe next week.
Wait, is there an option to get cunt cakes and cunt waffles?
Twat
Where-
waffles.
Oh, twat waffles.
The twat
Where do
waffle.
I go to that?
It's a special IHOP
The
near
Vagina
the
Bakery.
Yeah. Oh my
One-
god.
one-
special IHOP on the strip.
Every now and then,
Eat
I want
some
you to
of that.
come up.
Special IHOP in Nye County.
Well, on one of these shows, I want you to come up with that litany of compound curse words that you yell at people.
When I'm driving.
Yeah.
On the road this past spring, we were in Jacksonville, Florida. We were getting towards the end of our spring tour, and there were people waiting in line to go to the show. And the line went around the corner, and somebody had to go back to their car because they forgot their ID. They all needed to bring their ID to register for the show. And as this woman is coming back from the parking lot to greet her friends that were standing in line, she said, apparently the only reason she went to her car was to get her ID. That didn't stop her from forgetting it. So her friend standing in line at the far other end of the building yells out loud, "Hey, did you remember your ID?" And the woman is running towards us, and she stops and goes, "Oh my motherfucker," which I thought was the greatest. Oh my motherfucker.
It's like saying, Dad!
That's awesome. All right.
And this is why I don't mention the show I'm actually on too often, because I would get fired. But they're not listening. They don't listen to me.
Cocksucker's kind of tame.
I will tell you that
I
when
can't. All the things I talk about on this show, I would get fired for.
Really?
If I also mention the show too many times, you'll be like, wait a minute, we can't have that associated with. Price
Hey,
is
let's
Right.
check in with chat. What's going on over there? Have you got some people in chat?
I'm actually having a issue with chat. So if
Check
you're in
this
chat, stay in chat. Just keep
Sorry.
going.
You're in the same place where our video feed is. You'll be back later, but there'll be naked boobs waiting for you.
Right. That's exactly what's going to happen.
You'll see us pull our shirts down just as the video feed comes back on.
So for those of you who are listening on the airwaves, this is the audio portion. We also video the show, although it'll probably be in pieces for this one, and then we'll upload it to our YouTube channel, which is SinCityBounty. If you just type in SinCityBounty into your browser, you'll find us everywhere. We are like everywhere. We
They're
have
like
to
a
update
rash.
everything.
We're like herpes.
Yeah.
On the
The
website.
herpes of the internet,
Yeah.
Sin City Bounty.
On our webpage, which hasn't been updated yet because I have not taken it back over yet. It's 3 other ladies, but I am forefront and center. So
I am not on the website at all, by
Right.
the way, despite the fact of being on the show 2 years. I am nowhere to be found on the website.
Well,
So-
you know why that is. They don't love you.
That's okay. I
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
I
Just
know
so,
the
as long as you know.
feeling.
I do, but
They're
I
not
haven't been
planning
here
on
for
this
2
working
years.
out, so don't get comfortable over there.
I
You also
like-
have the seat closest to the door. I hope you've noticed that.
Then, like, don't get too comfy on this show 2 years later.
Yeah.
So there are some particular stories that we wanted to touch on a little bit more deeply than the brief set in the beginning. So let's start with you.
With me. So I am starting off with 8:30.
Oh.
Everybody's
somewhere.
phone is going off.
Yeah. I
Wow.
gotta pull up my.
Should I turn my phone on and just
I
put some
feel-
random music?
I feel
Yeah.
I should as
I should
well.
do that. Let's all check our phones so everyone watching on the web feed is
I'm-
like,
Pulling up my article here. So I am talking about Amon Bundy and his brother Ryan Bundy, the sons of Clive Bundy, the infamous Nevada rancher.
No relation
And
to Al, right?
Distant
No
cousins
relation
of
to
Al,
Al.
definitely.
Okay.
So, for
Al was
those of you
smarter
who
than that.
aren't in the loop, they have decided to take over a federal government building in Oregon.
Visitor center or something.
Would anyone like to know what this motherfucking federal government building is? It's a bird watching center in the middle of a
Bird-watching
national
center.
wildlife refuge.
Right. So it's not like they took over.
the
you know,
FBI headquarters.
Yeah, they didn't take over that or the
No.
U.S. Mint or anything like that. They said, where are we going to find a bunch of pussies? Ah, the bird watching center.
And then they didn't even find any pussies because everyone was on vacation. The
'Cause it's
building was
cold.
empty.
Yeah, because it's fucking cold there
So-
right now.
While I am all about being armed and I'm all about having a smaller government,
Libertarian.
I
Gary
am-
Johnson.
yeah, well, I have to revisit Gary Johnson. So while I'm all about all of this, and I'm all about peaceful protests, and I'm even all about if you're in an open carry state, open carrying at your peaceful protest. That's perfectly legal. What I am not about is if you're deciding to make an armed stance in a federal building, picking the most vulnerable target you can find, which is an empty bird watching facility in the middle of a national wildlife refuge. The other thing that I am
the
not
low-hanging
for,
fruit of
Right.
government buildings.
right?
Right.
They're like, oh look, a rotting apple on the ground. Let's get that one. I'm also not for when they say, well, what do you want? And then they give you some runaround bullshit about the federal government giving us back our lands. One of my favorite quotes is from somebody going, so you're telling me there's a bunch of armed white guys trying to take back the land that was stolen by armed white guys, saying that it's not their land to begin with? Hashtag Native Americans. I really hate the Bundys. They are the worst group of people to represent anyone even sort of mildly right-leaning. I mean, they're just terrible. They're terrible people. They have terrible ideas. The whole idea of giving back all the government the land that the federal government owns, handing it over to individual people, it's just, first off, it's unreasonable. It's undoable. It just can't happen. It just cannot happen.
What?
Now, the other thing that I'm really kind of mad about is the original reason they were protesting. So the Hammond father and son, probably cousins too, don't know,
Definitely sleeping together.
probably.
Allegedly.
So in 2001, they say they set fire to their land to clear away invasive brush. And then it got out of hand and then burned 130 acres of BLM land. The BLM, however, was able to prove that the Hammond twins, whatever the hell you want to call them,
Father and son.
Lovers.
burned federal land to cover up illegal poaching.
Bum, bum,
Really?
bum.
Yes.
I didn't even hear that part of this story.
It was on the CNN article that I read
Wow.
about.
They're all
So
stupid. is
I'm
what-
I'm pro hunt. I'm pro gun. I'm pro hunting. I think hunting is good. But there have been lots of wonderful studies put out by not only federal government but independent studies that say that hunting seasons are necessary now. For us to keep the population in check, and also so that the population can grow enough to be genetically viable, so that we don't end up with four-eyed deer and shit like that.
I kind of like the idea of four-eyed deer.
Well,
I'm
it all
sorry.
depends on whether it
Can we
comes
get more
from her
antlers?
nuking Iran.
Yeah, I just want. Can we get more antlers? Because that's all they're shooting for anyway. They just want something to
Right.
put on their wall. So if we could get like one deer with 6 sets of antlers, you only got to shoot one.
Yeah.
I can see poaching from the Queen's Forest back in the Middle Ages when you were poor and had nothing to eat.
But in this
you
day
can
and
get busted
age-
for poaching.
In this day and age, if you really want some deer jerky, I will go down to the strip and buy you some
Yeah,
and
it's-
mail
We
it
don't
to
even need
you.
to go there. We forget the strip. Like we can go to the alien jerky place in Barstow.
Just go
Or
downtown.
Baker?
Come on, if you're driving all the way out there, you pay too much.
Yeah. So
The gas alone, we can
But
get.
it's not from the alien place.
yes,
Well,
I'm,
I know it
I'm
is fun to- yeah.
anti-poaching. Now the Hammond family,
Lovers,
they agreed that what they did was wrong,
not to
and
each
they
other.
agreed to go to jail.
That's right.
And they were like, my bad, should probably do some time for this. And so they went and turned themselves in to begin serving their sentence. The original reason the Bundy brothers are protesting is because they don't think these people should be serving a sentence. Let me clarify this.
She's really upset.
I'm really upset about
She's
this. So
pointing at the webcam
a
on the
criminal
can of Lysol.
said I committed a crime and should serve the time, and you're telling me he shouldn't be? Ugh.
Can
I'm
we
just over the Bundys.
can we get to the fact that they this very well organized, extremely thought out, well planned militia who took over an empty federal building didn't bring enough food to last 4 days, and they're asking us to send them food so
Yeah.
they can have their standoff
Yeah, because
without.
they're planning on being here for as long as it takes,
Yeah.
and this was not a last minute decision. Hey, by the way, can you send in some Burger King?
Yeah,
There
that's
is
just,
so much ridiculously surrounding this story.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
even funny.
Although I gotta
Listen,
say,
let's be very real though. If this were any other group, would they have allowed this to continue on?
no, if this
Would
had
they
been
have
black
not,
people,
would SWAT have not gone in?
no, if it had been black people, if it had been Muslims, we would have nuked Oregon already.
Right,
It
but
would
because
be
it's
parking
like,
lot for Seattle.
well, they're worried about what's that one camp,
The Branch Davidians.
the Branch Davidians. They're worried about
which was a shit ton of white people. I will just point that out
Right,
For
yes.
fairness'
they're
sake,
worried about
we set fire to a whole lot of white people that
the
day.
group surrounding Timothy McVeigh. That
A lot of white people there.
all of these other
Whitey's bad
incidents
too.
where crazy things happened afterwards. We're all white people, as a matter of fact. I didn't even realize that either. But yeah, so the government was worried about that. The government blinked, and now they're
Except that
there.
here's the deal: the building's really small, and they refuse to tell them how many people are in there.
So
They can only confirm that Amon and Ryan are the ones in there.
now I know that the protest for the Hammond boys
Was 300.
started at 300, and you know when you get 300 white guys together carrying guns, they get all, we should just take over this thing.
and then
And
there was
that's
a bar.
when they decided to change the motive for their grouping into government, get out of our crap.
I don't think there's 300 people in this teeny
I don't
tiny
think
little
so
building.
either.
I think it's Ryan and Amon and maybe one dude sucking their cocks. I think
Oh, there's more than one
I
doing
think
that.
there's
Come
just a
on.
lot of cocksucking going on in there, and they're all like, let's get pizzas delivered. Like, I'm just so done with
maybe
them.
they should
They're
just
so
do that. They
ridiculous.
should just call for pizza.
So yeah, if
well,
it had
that's
been,
how.
if it were a bunch of Asians, we would probably just, I don't know what we would be doing. We wouldn't be nearly as upset about it as we are now, because Asians aren't nearly as violent as they used to be.
Yeah.
Well, not here in America anyway.
No, because we drop bombs on them little fuckers when they get violent.
Goodness.
Oh
My God, this is terrible.
So anyway,
Holy crap.
of
all
all
to
of the
help by
bullshit,
association.
yes, you are. Of all of this, only 3 good things have come out of this, and that's 3 different hashtags that's floating around on Twitter. The one is Y'all Qaeda. Y'all Qaeda. And directly related to Y'all Qaeda is they're participating in their very own Yeehawd. That's YEEHAWD.
Right.
Yeehawd. And my very favorite one, even though it's the wrong term for this group, is the Vanilla ISIS.
It's kind of nice though.
Twitter,
you gotta
Twitter
let
went,
that go. Yeah,
Twitter went crazy on
Just
these
let
guys,
go of
which-
the
Yeah.
Egyptian goddess stuff. Let's let it happen. Let's have
So-
Vanilla ISIS going on.
Yeah, the Y'all Qaeda, Yeehawd, and Vanilla ISIS. Best thing to come out of this Bundy issue. I'm done with this, cocksuckers.
All right, so
Cocksuckers.
the story that I want to talk about, of course, is Cocksucker Cosby. Cocksucker Cosby. So, in preparation for today, I went and read up. So we all know that there's like 50 women who have accused him of allegedly raping them. There is only one criminal charge against him right now. The rest are civil, right? But there is the last woman, Chloe Goines, I believe. She has until April if she wants to pursue criminal charges. So now there are a lot of people who are out there defending Bill Cosby, and I would like to be one of those people because I grew up like I think almost all of us with Bill Cosby in our homes and on TV, and he's very funny. But when you have 50 people, 50 women saying you drugged me and you raped me, I'm sorry. Now, there's the whole mob mentality thing, the lemmings jumping over the cliff thing. Oh, they said it. Well, I'm going to say it too, and I'm going to say it too. And I know that on occasion happens.
But where there's smoke, there's fire.
Right.
Usually. Here's the thing. The only reason there's one criminal charge is somebody filed criminal charges, and it's also you need the burden of proof is on them. So you need a lot of provable, calculable, tangible evidence.
Those rape kits are
and-
probably sitting in Florida
right
now.
That's why I brought that up. But and yeah, like I think it's comedian Eddie Griffin right now is defending Cosby quite publicly, and that's fine. I mean, everyone has the right to the wrong opinion. I really have no I have no problem with that. But you kind of want to wait before you throw. It is way too early in this game now that there will actually be a court case involved. It is
Yes.
way too early to. You might want to hedge your bets before you start throwing down on the and he's on the Mount Rushmore of comedy. He's a genius performer, a genius comedian, and a brilliant writer, an incredibly smart man. He's done a lot for African Americans, youth, all sorts of things. That being said, he allegedly has been doing this stuff since the 60s. Okay,
Right.
and so didn't he get the memo that there's a certain level of fame you hit where pretty much they'll fuck you just because you're rich.
Right.
Yep.
You know, it just,
They'll
all
make
it-
shit up because they can.
Yeah, I mean, you could just walk in, throw your cock on a salad plate, and ask if anybody wants it, and there'll be women there. They're like, wait,
We now
you're
know
Cosby,
what
right?
Andy does on tour.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Once my balls hit the cold porcelain of that salad plate, throw the
As
ranch
soon
on,
as you're
baby.
in the buffet at
That's
the
right.
casino, you're like,
But yeah, there's a level of fame you've hit where you don't. So the fact that if this has been happening and it has continued to happen long after he's been really really famous, now it's clearly fetish territory. I mean, he's just into cold, lifeless, helpless women that he'd like to fuck. Which
There's a
I've
FetLife group for that. I'm
yeah.
just saying.
Well, here's the thing: if he wants, cold, motionless sex, well, he's got a wife. I mean, stay married. You could have that kind of sex all the time, Mr. Cosby. She's probably asleep right now. Feel free to just
Slip it in.
just burrow on in there.
Meet me.
Yeah,
Coming
go
through.
go
You're
right
right,
ahead.
Toxie?
The problem is they always wake up because he's too busy saying stuff about pudding pops and shit like that. And,
I'm gonna put my pudding pop in your Jello hole.
he's got probably the damn Cosby theme song in the background or Fat Albert. I mean, every woman wakes up as soon as he goes hey hey hey, and then he's then. So just ease off on that and go have sex with your lifeless,
Well,
boring.
I want
marriage
this case to
wife.
go, just go and get done with, because every 2 weeks seeing Cosby on my screen and being reminded that he raped 40 allegedly,
Allegedly.
We still have news
raped
stories
50
about Bill
women.
Clinton get a Hummer in the Oval Office. The Bill Cosby thing is not going away.
the thing
Well,
is, why?
he's got the money to make it go away,
And I'm not-
but it'll take a long time.
I'm not doing this. This is not a blame the victim, so don't make a mistake. But 40 people and not one person could speak up before now.
Right.
Oh yeah, well that
I mean, if the first 5, if one of them said something, there's 35 women.
Well,
that this
here's the thing. I believe that
may or may not have.
back in the 60s, this has started in 65 and even through the 70s, women, their words weren't taken. There are thousands upon thousands of rape kits untested in Florida and thousands across the United States. Women's ideas and
Needs.
are just aren't,
But pursue. I
aren't
mean,
taken
pursue
seriously.
it. Pursue it. Continue going, because now what's happening is it's so far that it's when it first started coming out, everybody assumed it was a money grab.
It's part of the conditioning. Now we have all of these great girls go, girls strong, women in science, and et cetera,
Burn your
which is great.
bras. I don't know.
This new
Don't burn your
do
bras.
that.
They're so freaking expensive.
I
right,
know.
Really,
this,
don't do
this,
that.
This new style of feminism, I love. Right, it's all about confidence, and you don't have to take the shit anymore. And you know what? If you're not appreciated here, go somewhere else where you are appreciated and make more money. I love this kind of new feminism we have, but that wasn't the case back then. Not that I'm defending the women for not speaking up. They may have, and another man or another woman might have said, because my mom is this way, just do right by your husband. Make sure you make his lunch for him to go to work. Make sure his clothes are ironed.
Well, I understand in the 60s, but when was the last case?
2008.
Okay, so
But
it's
that's
a
the
little,
criminal.
So the 2000s are a little different than 1965.
Yeah, to wait 7 years to say something. It's just, I mean, by 2008, the modern women's liberalism movement was in full swing by 2008.
And you also have the fact that you're going up against Bill Cocksucker Cosby. This guy is an icon. He was called the father of American comedy or something. What was he called? You're the comedian guy.
I think you just called him cocksucker.
I did.
We'll go with that. For the record, I cannot stay up on these fucking chairs.
Right. That's why I'm
This is
standing.
big ass
We only
problem.
have
So
10 minutes
now
left.
I don't want this to go. I don't want the story to go away because I like the attention that the fact that men raping women is not a good thing. I like that, but he just needs to be convicted. I really think the trial needs to go through and he needs to be convicted, and then we can focus on the fact that if you fuck over a woman, if you rape a woman, you will be convicted and go to jail.
Also, Jella needs to bring back the pudding pops.
Yes.
I got a feeling that's not gonna happen
Get another spokesperson
right now. Yeah,
Maybe
I
that
just-
maybe that
you know,
weird
should be Andy
Kentucky Fried
Martello.
Chicken guy.
I could do that. Yeah. Here's my problem, and I've it doesn't matter if it's Bill Cosby. I just don't understand the whole roofie and then rape mentality because I like my rape the old-fashioned way. Where's that love? Where's the one-on-one connection?
Where's the possibility of DNA under her fingernails?
That's right.
Like,
Where's the look of fear? There's
Oh my God!
where's the
Stop
struggle?
It, Andy. Stop
Come
it,
on
Andy.
now,
No.
Mr. Cosby.
I know that this is all in comedy, but anytime a woman is raped is not a good.
Well, I'm not saying it is, but you have to. It's 2016, and there are plenty of people on record as showing that everything can be funny. Maybe not necessarily to everyone, but see, I think I've just proven that you can go ahead and you can make lemons out of lemonade.
rape is not funny unless you're raping a clown.
What-
Toxie.
Oh my
There was a
God.
comedian friend of mine back in Chicago. I won't mention her name because I'm sure she would be ashamed right now just that I'm mentioning. She had a whole series of the most funny, ridiculously funny rape jokes I've ever heard. And she's like this sweet, beautiful, innocent looking woman throwing these out. And in between each one, she would always go, funny because it's rape. And it just made it funnier. And it's
Toxie.
God,
Having a
it was
You're
sad.
taking us to hell too,
To my
Andy.
friends, I am not laughing because what he's saying is fun. Well, yeah, I am laughing. I do not condone
Rape.
jokes.
No, nobody. Well, I don't condone rape. I mean,
Or rape, yeah.
I'm not in a position to really say, well, under certain circumstances. No, there are no circumstances, but you have to.
Again,
You
you're
have
on a plate in a buffet. There's no need.
That's right. Yeah, you got exactly. But you got to remember, you have like 7 more minutes here, and
Jesus.
if we're gonna take it down, you got to bring it back. These are rules. You can't end on a fart. You got to make sure
Yeah,
you
you
bring
can't.
it back so people are happy and they'll tune in next week.
All right, let's do your main story real quick.
All right. So just really quick today, President Obama spoke about some gun control suggestions, implementations.
He
Same
didn't
day
actually-
that Texas legalized open carry.
Right. And the only way I missed it. I mean, I was working. I wasn't, watching
You can
TV.
Google it.
Was it like 8 o'clock?
I
this morning
did,
or
yeah,
something?
It's
I
there.
did. It was earlier. But the way that I knew is because all of my very, very Republican friends on Facebook, when I
couldn't
glanced,
stop,
were like going insane.
here-
So I'm like, oh my God, he must have like really
No.
shit
No,
on our
there's-
Constitution.
didn't.
And
No,
so
I really
I went, and here's what it is. The people's pennies are like going nuts here. So he talked about expanding the background check for buyers.
My God, I'm leaving.
What the hell is he doing?
Allegedly.
What is he doing
Oh wait,
to
no,
our
he did it. He did it.
Constitution? Also, the people who sell it, he wants to close the gun show loophole. So the people who are selling guns need to be licensed.
What?
Insane.
Insane.
I bet they're
And
gonna make those
then
people get a
they
check
have
too.
Yes. What?
Sierra's
What are you
hackles
doing?
are going up right now.
No,
I
I'm
know.
fine with all of
Okay.
this.
Yeah, they're
they're
all reasonable
looking-
things that should
Crazy
have been done
libertarian
30,
half
40.
hasn't come out yet.
No. I'm
Right.
fine with
These are-
stricter. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm fine with these kinds of laws.
yeah, they're not taking anything away. They're trying to prevent a few. If this can even stop, like you said, if this could stop one, they're trying to tighten it up to. There was discussion of increasing mental health treatment. Well, we know a lot of these mass shootings are the result of somebody in dire need of mental health treatment.
Mhm.
So they're going to increase that, have a smart gun technology. For example, he said if you can, to get into my iPhone, I touch it with my fingerprint and I can get in. Well, why can't that happen for other things?
Exactly.
Why
It
don't we have
can.
that technology?
That technology
Um,
does exist. There are biometric gun locks that you can put your
Then
gun
why-
safety, you
why
can
can't
put your
we
gun
make
in.
it
lock on my
twice?
laptop.
Yeah.
Right. So why can't we implement these in place? Nobody is saying I'm coming into your house to steal your musket or whatever.
No,
Like
but
I'm
just saying you have to have a biometric lock on your gun safe. I'm okay with that. Because you know
Or
what
a
that
regular
prevents?
lock. Or a regular lock if you can't afford a biometric lock.
any
No, no,
type
no.
of
They already
lock
have
on
to have.
it.
You are
Let's do
There's
that.
already a regulation that states that your unused guns at home have to have some sort of safety.
Well, of course, if you
feature.
can afford a gun, then you should probably be able to
Yes,
afford a
if you can
biometric
afford a
lock.
gun, you should be able to afford to secure your gun. Because one of the things you don't want to do is have the bad guys get your gun. So if you make it so that only you can get your gun, or those people you sign
Right.
into your biometric thing,
Or if you have unused guns at home, please donate them to the homeless.
to me, I'll take them.
I mean, now
Donate
that we're
them to
done
the
with the
homeless.
holidays, we can still be in the giving spirit. I mean, it's still tomorrow is technically the 12th day of Christmas, so give your unused guns to someone.
I'm okay with
See
the
what I
gun
did?
thing.
I brought it back.
There you go. You brought it back. So that's it. I just want to touch on that briefly. I think a lot more is coming out, but like I said, I thought, my God, what did he do? Did he like pull out the Constitution, take a piss on it, or something? Just based on the feedback, and no, it
Well, remember, he is black. So, of course, that's a terrible thing he did.
Yes.
And
right. Yeah,
So-
they were using those.
Let's see how
names
quickly we can
for
get
it.
through the rest of this.
All right, so we have fail of the week. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'll jump right in real quick since we were going to tie it in after this.
Right.
A couple fail of the weeks, but one of the big ones, there's a video going around at Starbucks. And what it is, if you haven't seen it, it is a girl took a credit card at the drive-thru. She went back, copied the number, went to Ralph's, used the card. The person whose card it was went ahead and took video, came up and came to the window and started, like, hey, fucker, I know what you did. And you stole $212. We have you on video at Ralph's. The police are here, yada, yada, which is great. Everyone's passing it around like, finally, justice. And this is the way to do it.
I've had that happen to me, and I was pissed when I found out $200 from my account was gone.
Right.
So I fully understand that.
I'm just pissed that many people still go to Starbucks.
They do.
What is the
They
point?
do.
But
the whole thing is it ties
Coffee's
back
good.
into there's a new thing now, and it's shaming via video. Shame videos and then uploading them.
That's what I was doing before I came
Is
here.
that what you were doing?
Yeah.
Shame videos?
Is it on your FetLife account? Can I go look it up?
Parents have been doing it to children for a while
they do it
now.
to children,
Yeah.
to their pets. Those are kind of cute, but here's what's going to happen. This 19-year-old, the girl's going, I'm 19, I play soccer, I'm a good kid, I promise. This 19-year-old is not going to get into college.
Nope.
This is going to follow her everywhere. So
Good girls don't steal.
Oh, it's good.
well, but she made a mistake.
Big deal.
I real, but now it's
So
going
did
to,
Mr. Cosby.
He made a lot.
Speaking of mistakes, one of my favorite Glee guys was caught with kitty porn on his computer.
Oh my gosh.
Fail of the week.
Right? Let's see. What else? Affluenza guy.
That's the
Affluenza
one.
guy.
So this is how the guy got off with 10 years of parole instead of jail time. I'm too rich to know right from wrong.
But he was here it is to set it back
Wow.
up. He was drinking and driving. There was a woman pulled over who had her vehicle broke down. He hit her, and he was 16. And the defense was, and they even brought like a psychologist in, that he suffered from affluenza, which is his parents coddled him so much he didn't know right from wrong. So affluenza boy, are we done in a minute?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Well, affluenza boy was caught at a party drinking, which violated his probation. So his mom took him to Mexico to
Right.
try and evade.
Hey, you've been listening to the Sin City Bounty
Terrible.
show. We had a lot of fun. Oh my gosh, 1 hour is not enough. But we are not moving to 2 hours anytime soon.
Yeah, you are.
we will
Visit
go
us
around
You're
that.
going to 2. You're
Go
going
visit
to
us
2
on
hours.
Facebook. I'm going to post all these stories up on our Facebook page so you can leave your comments as well. Check our video on YouTube, etc., etc. Lawrence is kicking us out of here. Lawrence, thank you so much for staying. Thanks to the Vegas Voice Actors for giving us a shout out. Thanks to Vegas All Night Radio for housing us again. And thanks for Andy Martello for coming in.
My pleasure.
Coming in
Welcome
and tickle
back,
my fancy.
ladies. Welcome back.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
While I'm the one that's